Posted by you/throwaway wondery. I, 21F, have been with my boyfriend, 23M, for 3 months now, so it's still pretty new. So far, everything is going well except for this tiny little detail. He has this teddy bear, let's call him Teddy. Teddy has always been a part of my boyfriend's life. He got him at birth, and when he was around the age of 5 or 6, or whatever age is considered appropriate to take a teddy bear away from a child, his parents tried to take Teddy away. He screamed and cried so much that they ended up giving in. So, he kept Teddy with him his whole life. He mentioned Teddy to me pretty early on, about a week after we started dating. He showed me pictures of him, and I found it cute at first. He had plenty of photos of Teddy in different situations, him with a mug, lying in bed, studying, etc. I honestly thought it was adorable since I assumed it was just a joke and didn't think Teddy was such a big part of his life. But as we got to know each other better, he started mentioning him more. He'd often make jokes about him. When he had to go back to his flat, he'd say, "I have to go back, Teddy is waiting for me," and then he'd text me later, "Okay, I put Teddy to bed, so now I might go to sleep too, I don't want to wake him up." It was a little weird, but still cute. But then he really started talking about him constantly, always linking what we were doing to Teddy. Oh, I wish Teddy was here to see this. Teddy doesn't really like people, so I won't bring him to the party, etc. He'd send me selfies with Teddy at least twice a week. He also sometimes said weird things like, whenever we watched a sex scene in a movie, he'd say, "That's what Teddy and I do when we're alone," or when I asked when he lost his virginity, he replied, "Oh, I lost it with Teddy a few years ago." These jokes made me uncomfortable. He always seemed to think of Teddy as a baby/son/brother, so sexualizing him felt extremely weird to me. I told him that it was uncomfortable, but he just laughed, and I don't think he took me seriously. About a month ago, I told him I was okay with him bringing Teddy when he stayed at my place. I could see he was sad to leave him, and I was also very curious to finally see Teddy in person. I can't go to my boyfriend's flat due to strict rules against guests. So, that day, I drove to his place, and he came out with all his things and Teddy. When he got in the car, he pulled Teddy out of his bag and had him give me a kiss on the cheek. As we drove, he opened the window and put Teddy outside, kind of like how you do with a dog. He said it was rare for Teddy to travel like that, and he could feel that he was happy. Teddy smells a lot, my boyfriend hasn't washed him in 12 years. For the rest of the car ride, he hugged and kissed him. He has this weird twitch where he compulsively pats Teddy's back, which makes a strange sound because Teddy used to play music when you pressed his belly. He always rubs Teddy's clothes between his fingers. You can guess that Teddy is in pretty bad shape. He used to be red, and now he's just gray. When we're in bed, he always puts Teddy's mouth on mine, and I avoid it because I find it disgusting, and I told him I hate it, but he doesn't listen. He always tries to have Teddy touch different parts of my body. When we make love, I often end up finding Teddy between us, and every time I throw him away, my boyfriend says, "Oh no," he likes to watch, as a joke. He often mentions us having a 3-way with Teddy, says Teddy is great with his tongue, and talks about them always doing kinky stuff together. Now, I'm not clueless, I know communication is important. I've tried talking to him so many times. Sometimes I bring it up jokingly so he doesn't feel attacked. Once, I asked who he would choose if he had to pick between me and Teddy, and he said Teddy, but I've also brought it up in a serious way. I've told him I don't like it when he rubs Teddy on my face and body, and I've said that his relationship with Teddy seems way too intense and weird. But every time, he doesn't take it seriously, he just makes jokes and never really tells me how he feels. I should mention that he's like this about any serious conversation. All he does is make awkward jokes, and he never truly expresses his feelings. He only told me I love you the first time because he was drunk. This is getting hard to handle. I've been away from him for 2 weeks and was kind of relieved not to see Teddy for a while, but all he did was keep sending pictures, and whenever I'd ask him what are you doing or what did you do today, his answer was always playing with Teddy. Today, he told me I was perfect, which was a first, and I wasn't expecting it. He doesn't give a lot of compliments. When I responded, "Really?" he replied, "Actually, no, Teddy is perfect. You come way after him." I just gave up and didn't reply. I have 3 questions. 1, am I overreacting? Am I the one not being tolerant enough? Am I just a boring girlfriend who can't appreciate some childishness in the relationship? 2, what should I do? Should I let him live his life with Teddy, ask him to make a real choice, or ask him to stop with the sexual jokes? Like, who am I to ask these things? Is it my place to tell him to stop being so weird with his teddy bear? 3, how do I get him to finally talk to me and take me seriously? Commenter. How on God's green earth am I still single? Update 1 day later. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all of you. I did not expect to get so many comments. For those who were worried, I'm safe. You all really scared me, though. I had many questions asked, so I'm going to quickly reply to the ones I saw most often. Why are you with this guy? Are you insecure? Why are your standards so low? I obviously didn't write down his nicest qualities. Apart from this weird teddy bear fetish, he was a completely normal guy, with friends, going to parties, studying, and so on. In fact, he's quite the popular guy, though I don't care about that kind of thing. He took me on dates and made me feel special. I really thought he was a keeper. At first, him being a little childish didn't bother me. I, myself, have stuffed animals, and even though they're in the cupboard, I used to love them as a kid. It was when he started sexualizing his bear and involving me in it that I freaked out. The problem is, it's so hard to tell when he's joking or not. He constantly makes jokes, which is why I could never tell whether I was overreacting. Is he just joking, or does he mean what he says? However, one thing I really didn't see coming, and you guys helped me realize it, is his lack of respect towards me and my boundaries. Sometimes it's easier to see things from an external point of view. This whole time, I was too focused on wondering whether it was normal for me to feel uncomfortable, and I didn't realize that he never once tried to make me feel more comfortable, even though I told him how I felt. Thank you all a lot because that's the one thing you really helped me with. I would have probably taken longer to realize it on my own, even though it now seems obvious. Run away, he's going to unalive you, he's a psychopath, etc. Although his behavior is extremely weird, I don't see him hurting anyone. But obviously, it's easier for me to tell, since you all had to base your opinions on what I said. He doesn't match the psychopath personality at all. I'm not allowed to visit him because he lives in a private home, someone hosts him in one of their bedrooms, and this person doesn't allow any visitors. It is weirdly strict, yes, but it's believable, and I once saw his sister, who confirmed that she herself couldn't visit him. One thing is sure, though, although he may not hurt anyone, he seems to have serious problems, and I'm not sure I can handle it. It's fake, it looks like the movie Ted. I know it all seems surreal, but it is true. I have multiple pictures of Teddy if some of you are interested. I know a lot about Teddy's past because my boyfriend won't stop talking about him. That's how I knew. I know the movie Ted, but I have never seen it, and my boyfriend actually suggested that we could watch it about a month ago. Burn Teddy, make him disappear, etc. Haha, thank you, I did think about it a lot. I often hide him when he brings him to my place so I know exactly where he is, and my boyfriend doesn't think about him, he always ends up looking for him, though, but still, it gives me a break. What did you do in the end? I was supposed to see him today, so I picked him up, and we drove to my place. Of course, Teddy was there, and when he got in the car, my boyfriend had him give me kisses and stuff. I said, "Stop, please," in a cold way, and he stopped. I told him we needed to talk, and he listened because I started crying. I thought it would be hard for me to start talking, but since I was so stressed from all your comments, I just broke down and cried. I told him how I needed him to stop with Teddy, that he needed to stop being so close and dependent on him, and that Teddy shouldn't come to my place anymore. At first, he was silent, but then he said he didn't understand why I was so uncomfortable with it, that he was purely joking, that he knew Teddy wasn't real, and that it hurt him to see that I thought he had a problem. I was extremely disappointed with his reaction and just told him I needed a break. I drove him back to his place, and that's where I am now. Edit. Thank you all for your support. I realized there was some confusion. No, I'm not at his place. I'm home and safe. Tonight, I'll sleep at a friend's so she and I can talk about it, and I'm never going back to him. He sent me terrible messages all night, which convinced me to never get back with him. Thank you again for helping me, and have a nice day.